Welcome, and today I want to talk about sweets, candy. And of course, the question I will be posing, or the question I want to pose is, do you think you can make money if you open a shop that focuses purely on sweets? Nothing else, just sweets. Now, this is what I did in 2014. I opened a shop in outskirts of Nairobi, a place called Ongata, and the whole shop was focusing on sweets. Now, I was selling quite a number of variety of sweets, and I'll tell you, and I don't know whether you've seen, I don't know whether this is in TikTok, where a father is walking with a little girl along the street, and when he gets to a place where they are selling toys, the father had to pick the kid and block the eyes because he knew the kid would not allow them to go past that shop. Now that is the same thing with candies. And one of the things that was interesting when I opened this shop is that the kids, when they were passing by in the morning going to school, they would actually stop, admire, and some buy sweets. But in the evening, that's when we had traffic. When they were coming out of their school, that's when we had traffic. Now, the shop that I had the retail, and I was also selling in wholesale. And my focus was actually to get sweets that are not common in Kenya. So I would get sweets from Egypt, I would get sweets from Tanzania, and most of them would come from China, but we get them through Tanzania. And the kids were always fascinated to know which is the new candy that the candy shop have brought on board. And of course, with the wholesale, we had quite a number of shops that would come for for a lot of boxes of sweets. And I'll tell you, this shop was doing very well. I remember I was banking with one of top tier bank in Rongai or in Kenya, and there was a time I needed a facility with them. And when they looked at the history of what I was making, the deposit I was making every day, they could not believe. In fact, my bank had to come to the shop and just witness what is this that you're selling. Because when I told her that this is a candy shop, we are selling sweets, that could not resonate well with her. So she had to come, see our books and actually witness as we make sales of these sweets, and get to understand what is this business model that we're selling. But I'll tell you, when you're selling sweets, in fact, what we learned from that shop is that sweets, when you're selling in retail, that is in pieces, they have higher margin, very high margin. You actually make more than, you'd actually make double of what you buy, okay? But of course, because you also need turnover, you'd want to sell in wholesale. But that was an interesting business that I ran for some years, and I actually sold it at a good price, on an ongoing, as an ongoing concern. So when you think about sweets and the whole story that I've given, in strategy, that is what we call focus differentiation. Focus differentiation. This is where you just narrow down on a small niche market and you seek to do very well in that. And as I said, for me, I was offering variety that are beyond, that are outside the Kenyan type of sweet, the tropical, and all these others that we have in Kenya. So I was getting varieties and different flavors and types that were very unique, and kids would resonate with that. That is focus differentiation. You just seek to be unique and you play in your small niche market. And what we normally say, even when you do focus differentiation, you can still make good money. And that was a good business that I had, that I'll tell you was making good money to the extent that my banker would not believe. Now, the motivation for this, in fact, I had traveled to South Africa and I saw serious shops that were focusing on candy, and this gave me an idea. And beside that, there is a book that is a good book for me that I keep on referring to. There is this book, Blue Ocean Strategy, and this is also a good book if you are a business person. This book by Chan Kim and Winnie has also helped me in a number of businesses that I was doing, and in fact even part of that business could be attributed to this. Now, this book talks about blue ocean and red ocean, and when you think about, or what it postulates, is that as a business, as much as possible, think about moving away from where the competition is. Try to move to the blue ocean, where there is peace, where the water is uncharted, and then you seek to play a different game altogether. And that's what I did. I realized sweets can actually make money. I did research. And basically in Rongai, I was the only shop that was selling sweets. And quite a number of shops would actually come for the unique sweets from the shop. So think about it. How can you move from where the competition is, or what the book talks about as red ocean, to blue ocean? And that has to do with what can set you apart as a business. So that is how I did, and I hope you, if you're running a business, if you want to start a business, you can think about that focus differentiation, but more importantly in terms of the red ocean where the competition is high, and how can you move from there to the blue ocean where there is no competition.